side of this very close stage.
Well, it's bound to be a hell of a bout. Let's jump into Nighthaven Labs now and see what our bans are going to be. Can Team Secret, the dark horse from Europe, take the series away from Spacestation, our lower bracket juggernauts out of North America? Only, well, these bans will really tell. To really assist us with Nighthaven Labs here as we jump on in, it's going to be Habana as well as Kaid off the board. And a Thermite and Bandit ban to boot.
Yeah, I mean, fully focused on the walls here on Nighthaven Labs makes a ton of sense, right? We often see the Kaid Bandit combo. It's the most common pair of operators to ban for defenders, or for attackers, I should say, on Nighthaven Labs, and then 2 hard breachers again, super standard to be removed. That IT wall is probably the most important wall in all of Siege, maybe only second to like the CC wall on Clubhouse.
There you go.
So incredibly important to keep that closed. Also really important for connector. You can use it down in the basement for the outer walls. Can certainly be impactful elsewhere on the map, but when it really comes to Nighthaven Labs, those walls are the key focus that most teams will focus on. Sometimes you'll see a mirror ban. There's a really good mirror map, and immediately Mowgli's going to jump on that. Sometimes you'll see some shield bans. That's a really powerful tool here on Nighthaven as well, and we're initially going to see Newers flirt with that. Still time, of course, for SSG to change their minds, but plenty of tools still being available for both sides, and we'll get to see an exciting match, I'm sure, as the first round gets underway.
Top floor ready to go here for Team Secret as they have strewn along all of the different pieces of utility that they wanted to bring to the table. Things like the mirror window, as referenced by Jesse, and everything else in between. Definitely looking for Noah, especially for these keeper barriers, to see how he wants to apply these. Usually you see these over inside of garage rafters. That's exactly what we'll be seeing right now. Juma also bringing that Clash along for the ride. Might be something that is targeted down the line from SSG with that third band after round 3. But we'll have to see once we do cross that bridge. As for SSG, they have access to a lot of pretty solid hard breach still. I know we have the Bonda gone and obviously the Thermite gone too, but Ace still up, which is something you got to be happy about.
Yeah, I mean, this mirror window causes a big problem because as soon as it gets opened by the defenders, here it goes. It's really risky to start opening things up the wall, but looks like we are just going to see them open it up without too many issues. The ace charge will start to make a hole that you can then run through as long as both explode. And with the second one here, it does look like they'll have a crouch hole to get in through IT. So quite quick, I would say, to be able to open up the most important wall on the map.
Most definitely. Utility not really able to find its mark either, making things a little bit more complicated for Team Secret as they're trying to find some way to fend off SSG. Benjamaster taking a little bit of damage, but that's just from that clash that's sitting right here inside of jungle. They have surrounded this space, but it's still going to be difficult to try and operate around Joom, just given the circumstances of him being Clash. It's so easy to play around this shield and keep yourself alive. And as long as he's able to make some solid moves and have Mowgli's assistance, it looks like it's going to go off without a hitch.
Yeah, that's a big pick. I mean, long range, you find the captain of SSG, take down Fault's a really nice opening, and this might put a bit of pause in Spacestation, right? A little bit nervous now to start walking in to this part of the map. They do manage to bash the window, Sam, but it's costing them a lot of security.
It's getting very difficult just given the map control here, Jesse. I mean, how do you operate around this tiny of a space? The answer is you don't.
Wow.
Team Secret eviscerate the offense, just run them right through the meat grinder.
And I'll tell you, Sam, one thing that Team Secret have done is they've described themselves as an aggressive team that love playing against aggressive teams. They really like being able to shut down teams early when they try to make their entry points. They didn't let them get any space inside a jungle. Immediately, Secret were going to contest them. They got the initial long pick on the mirror window. Beautiful play by Mowgli. June was assisting from over towards the electrical side of things. And they just kept swinging close with the shotgun. Mowgli ended up getting 2. I believe it was Adrian that got the last couple playing here on the smoke. Really beautiful stuff coming out from him. You don't often see teams get that aggressive, take that many gunfights over towards jungle, but Team Secret were feeling themselves. They felt like they had the advantage with the mirror window never being smashed, never being countered, and so they had the ability to keep playing aggressive, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah. I think it really just comes back to that point where we saw Mowgli get that nice little pickup off that mirror window. That just starts to set the tables up where you can gamble a little bit more, Jesse. You know what I mean? You can put those chips out there and see if something comes back. Worst case scenario, you equalize, you still have the site control. You're probably still in a pretty positive route towards success. So Team Secret, they gamble a little bit extra and they pay off with massive, massive wins. So well done to them in this very first round. But it's going to take a lot more than that to shut down Nighthaven Labs overall, as SSG SSG have been making a mockery out of every single team they've played on this map.
Yeah, they're of course 1-1 here at the Esports World Cup. Did lose it in their opening game against W7M, but then had a really strong bounce back, taking out Falcons right after. So they look very comfortable on this map, and they do seem to run it. There's a good reason why they picked it. Team Secret currently 3-game losing streak on Nighthaven, falling to Fnatic in Malta, Fnatic then in Belgium, and then an 8-7 loss to Falcons in the EML. So close games for sure, but you do sometimes see that slip away from Team Secret. Regardless, they'll be happy with this start. And they go to a bottom floor bomb site, but a very heavy roam, Sam. There's a lot of players here on the top floor.
Oh, it's getting scary. Very terrifying, and somehow it's Joom from behind. Ashen isn't aware of the other player assisting with this angle, and he's immediately decimated. Fultz, fortunately enough for SSG's sake, we'll be able to at least get some semblance of value out of this situation as we'll be able to take down Mowgli. But so far, not so good for Space Station. Team Secret, I was going to say, probably hoping that SSD show up the way that they did in that W7M game, because they were asleep at the wheel. This time, not so much asleep, just kind of getting beat over the head.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit solo on that entry point. Nobody behind Ashton on the blitz. Thought he could do it all himself, but Joom being that protector from down behind was a really big difference maker. Most of these players have now fallen back. Noah still sits in cafeteria, but not really near these SSG players at the moment. Deep into Animus already is fault, so sniffing the bomb site currently with still a couple of those players that are up above on the defense. It'll be interesting to see how they respond to this.
Oh, this is actually quite the interesting prospect, isn't it? We have some players over here to the right-hand side of Adrian, also Fultz here inside of Animus. Noah with a nice kill, an aggressive swing. Fultz will take him down, but so far, Secret's aggression has been working perfectly up against Space Station Gaming. Might be able to find another one, looking for that. If Fultz is capable of getting this, it will be an ace to clutch things up. Another Goya out here, and that will be it. As the fires nip at his heels, he will go down. And that'll be 2 rounds here for Secret as they are starting to build on these blocks on the defensive side.
Just a sliver of HP, and of course with the Goyo canister, that's going to be able to take him down in the end. So nice try. Doesn't end up coming out to be that big of a deal in the end. Without the man advantage, it was always going to be a tough push. They had cargo control, they had Animus control, and that generally is the recipe, but having cargo without being able to clear out Noah from cafeteria, he just made the push all the way up through the hallway. We didn't quite catch it, but managed to get a good flank onto the players that were cargo, got a couple of kills in that action, and then everybody else able to collapse just alongside Noah. So good late round moves coming out from him, but for me it really does come back to that roam game. Secret were playing together, SSG couldn't quite manage the same. So we'll get a 2-round lead now from Team Secret, and immediately attack timeout coming from Callout.
Yeah, you never really see an early one like this from Space Station unless it's of the utmost importance. Callout ripping that, won't have it for the rest of Nighthaven Labs, but more than likely hoping to adjust things on this offensive side. Give SSG a little time to breathe. And, I mean, at the end of the day, obviously, get a dang round. That's the biggest issue right now. They really haven't even had an opportunity to open up the door to a situation like that.
Yeah, Callout actually had a good conversation with Gibson yesterday after their big quarterfinal win and talked about his tack timeouts a little bit. And what Callout said was that my team is the most mentally strong team around. I don't call tack timeouts for the mental. I call them for strategy. I talk about the push we're going to go for. I talk about the hold we're going to go for. I wonder if that holds in a game like this, where you are 2-0 down, Team Secret are playing very fast and aggressive into your pushes. Is it maybe more about resetting the mental? He claimed that that's not how he calls them. This is a strange situation though, Sam. I mean, it's a high-pressure game here in the semifinals. Ultimately, we will not get the answer to the question, but it's something to think about.
Give me about a minute and a half, I bet we can figure it out.
Okay.
Because, I mean, if we look at the previous 2 rounds, very similar circumstances in the strategy, right? They try and find out where one of these Secret players are. They try and go for more of an aggressive take. Last time around, or rather the first round, obviously, things got a little bit convoluted. The clash is there. There's a lot of things going on. The follow-up round, SSG go for that immediate stretch and get decimated upstairs, at least for Ashen's sake. This time around, it's Newers after Joom hops out on Warden and decapitates him.
Yeah, I mean, the death was highlighting just how good Joom's been, how consistent he's been so far this tournament, and that'll be a great entry to keep things going for Secret.
They just want to make sure I eat my words, huh?
Well, I mean, it's the same playbook, Sam. You aren't wrong. It does feel like every single round, Team Secret are the ones that are getting active. They're taking the initiative. They're the ones who are making the fight go to SSG, and it really does feel like Spacestation are getting caught off guard more often than not. Maybe they do need to start slowing things down a little bit, start being a little bit more respectful of the moves Team Secret could make. Seemingly catching them off guard. They know where this zombie is positioned up top in rafters, but clearing out Noah is a much more difficult task.
Very nice find from Benja Master. The communication, the teamwork there to break up that Kiba barrier. But Team Secret still looking so very solid and still more than willing to put it on the line. Mowgli, SMG 11 in hand, flirting with IT while there's two people here, so a chance for a refrag if things do go awry.
Adrian's still playing up there as well on the Clash, so plenty of players to play with. Savage makes the fallback. So it's just these two now from Secret up on the top floor. This move from Faults will start creating a little bit of a pinch pressure, right? With this move on a jungle, the heart breach. No!
Nobody knows about electrical!
Oh,
Mowgli,
Sam.
he slipped through the cracks, M590 in hand. I was terrified for that man inside of electrical, but Faults will nip it in the bud. It's a 3 versus 3, but everywhere they step, Secret is prepared. They're looking dastardly at the moment.
Secret keep making moves. That's the crazy thing, is they're always in control of what's happening in the round. They're making a swing. They're taking the C4. They're going for the big flank to catch off guard SSG. I mean, it has been really tough to see this now. Spacestation in the 2v3 up against the Clash. Adrian does have his gun out. Usually you'd expect a Clash to keep the shield up in the man advantage, but might figure that he's better holding on an angle or playing behind his shield in a more flexible position. 30 seconds to make this push happen, and it's going to be double players coming in through Garage.
J9O trying to find an angle. He'll tap Joom once, which that 417, just so much damage. What a find here from Savage. Slips underneath the stairwell for 2. And it's 3 rounds on the defense here for Secret.
It's too clean, Sam. I mean, there's no other way to say it. Team Secret know exactly how they want to play these defenses. Probably expected Spacestation to pick a map like Nighthaven Labs because they've played it so often in this tournament so far. It's not been a good map for Secret. Maybe baited SSG into this a little bit. It's very obvious Secret came in with a really strong game plan on how they wanted to play it. The Clash gets removed as a response. Sure, right, Clash is really strong. We saw her both on rounds 1 and 3, but to me it didn't feel like the Clash was the big problem for SSG. It's not necessarily going to solve things for them going forward, and without access to the ace, Heartbreak is just going to get even more awkward in the second quarter. Oh boy, this is a rough start for the Astronauts.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult. Hopefully they don't suffocate here in the vacuum of space. So far, not so good, but I mean, could be some change-ups on this follow-through for the site rotations. You know, you did say that the Clash ban a little weird, you know, given the last 2 rounds, but I will say that first round they did have a lot of value there on command.
That's true.
Over there in jungle, right? So we'll see. Maybe that has an effect. We do have the Blackbeard coming back in. It's not going to be on what I believe last time with Ashen, but doesn't really matter at the end of the day. The Op will work its way back in. We will have a Glaz as well, and the Dokkaebi to boot.
Still keeps the Mira on the board for this bomb site, though. The most banned operator other than the electricity operators on Nighthaven Labs, and so we saw how powerful that was previously, both in terms of trying to keep the wall closed and also now protecting jungle spawn peak. Oh my god, Sammy almost hit that head.
He did.
Matter of inches separating that bullet from that skull, but he doesn't manage to get successful, so runs back inside. No harm, no foul. Benja down below, I think, might be a difference maker, Sam. This will be how they try to counter that Mira position.
They know that there's a buck down here, though. And oh, the aggressive swing from Noah. But is he aware that there is just secret ants lying around this space? No, he's not. The downstairs riddled with players. Adrian able to take out Benja. SSG feeling like Nighthaven Labs is their home, but it's more like a house of horrors every time they step inside.
Yeah. Jeez. Good response. They understand that a buck's a really strong counter to the way that was just played. So why not now go down below and fight the buck head on, even if he gets 1-for-1? That is absolutely worth it. The Mira window makes this so awkward, Sam. Super dangerous. He needs help from one of his teammates to hold the window, but it seems like they might just be giving up on IT. Thinking it's too dangerous and going to waste too much time. They're just going to have to force it instead with the smokes of the Glaz and the Blackbeard instead.
You almost have to. Nice little find there as Joom's trying to get a little cheeky there. Swing on the far side of the door, but I mean, this is still very difficult for SSG to try and operate through. Fultz on quite low HP. They won't be able to get that IT wall open. The Nitro Cell takes away over half of Newer's life. Ashen will be able to find one. No dice, though, for SSG as Mowgli puts him to the sword. But it's down to just Savage in a 1 versus 2. Very low HP on both SSG members. Completely doable, but Foltz finds the head. And that's the very first round here for Space Station. Still a long road to go to try and tie it up on the offensive side.
Back-to-back rounds where Mowgli on the top floor of Nighthaven Labs gets a 2K, a really important 2K on the Mira. It's not really an operator you associate with Mowgli. Through the EML, he only played Mira a single time for the entire round, and that includes reload as well in that stat. So it's not really an operator he's comfortable or common on, but on this bomb site, it seems to be the play that's working out the best for them. Always has such a huge impact on when he chooses to make his swings. In round 1, of course, it was jungle where he got that value. Round 4, of course, ended up being over towards those rafters positions. So really nice stuff coming out from Mowgli. 4 of his 6 kills happening in that role, and we are really seeing Secret playing well so far today. SSG got their big round instead. They do battle back a little bit, but we're still seeing strong stuff out of Secret. They're not over the hill just yet for Space Station.
No, they're not. And honestly, Secret just proving themselves time and time again throughout these playoffs. I think a lot of people just underestimated them given the circumstances of their run there in the initial group stage. You know, best of ones, you run through them very quickly. Granted, W7M and Falcons is your teams that you play against. Not exactly slouches, but still, I think that people were still kind of doubting them just a tad bit as to what they were really capable of. And time again, they show up when things get hard. So we'll see what Secret are able to do with these last 2 rounds here. Maybe build off of these 3 rounds that they've gotten. Guarantee that they win this defensive side. All sounds like green lights to me for Europe.
Basement again. Once more, the roam game is going to be actually a little bit more passive this time around. Joom is top floor, but the other players aren't really there with him. Savage playing around the Aqua Stairs, so he's going to be in a position where he can rotate up to help if he chooses. Noah holding the vending stairs. Mowgli holding the cargo stairs in a bit of an extended position. He's actually over in garage right now, so places to move, but certainly can decide on where he wants to play late. SSG, the game plan's the same. They want top floor control so they can start to use this ram to work open the floorboards. In order to do that, they have to clear out Joom. They have to clear out Mowgli. They have to get these players out of the top 2 floors, otherwise they're such a huge problem.
Oh my god. Oh, that is the sound of my heart crying, folks. That was just absolutely terrifying as Ashen bullies his way through that wall and almost loses his life to the Secret player on the staircase. Fortunately enough for SSG, they will be able to maintain. There are still a lot of Secret players rolling around here. Look at Mowgli's positioning.
Yep.
He's just wrapping up in behind them. Ashen, yes, working downstairs, but it's so scary what he could potentially do right here as he's just sitting inside of barrels. There's players right over inside of vending.
Yeah, Mowgli will have the vert angle too to stop any plants that go through Exo.
New?
That's why Newers is here.
Tries to bait him into the gunfight. He didn't see him! Oh, he has to run away! He's so very lucky he's on Ram. I don't think another operator in the world really lives unless they're a 3 armor. Savage will take down Benjamaster, and they are just making a mockery of SSG's offenses. SSG just simply can't get a cage on these guys. No collar, no nothing at all. The Secret are running roughshod over the entirety of Nighthaven Labs. Finally, something will go SSG's way, as Foltz will lie in wait in here in vending. SSG, just what do you do from this moment, Jesse? Newer's on low HP, Ashen on low HP, Foltz trying to hold up the flank. It's just so difficult to try and push yourself forward.
You got to do something to get Mowgli out of the spot, because if you can't, he will deny every plant position from above. Finally you do it, but it costs you so much, Sam.
And really, that's more than likely going to be all she wrote. Foltz is the only one with kills inside of this round at all right now. And Secret know exactly what they need to do. They just got to wait for the drop, and that should be it. They'll swing on the cross here. That's going to be it, as just a dominant showing here from Team Secret. I mean, what else do you say?
Yeah. No, it's ridiculous what Team Secret are showing us at the moment. Space Station Gaming supposed to be this champions when their backs are against the wall. Well, when are we going to see that? Hopefully sooner rather than later. It was a 4-man push over towards the vending side. Of course, J9O was the 1-man that was elsewhere on the map trying to lurk and find a couple of kills, but he lost his 1v1 duel. And then Mowgli, just a massive problem that never got properly addressed. Newers was on the window, but he lost a fight and then had to chicken away. Other players started to get that push, but then he tossed out a Nitro Cell for a frag too. I mean, I really think Mowgli has been playing absolutely phenomenal so far in this tournament. He'll bring back the Mira once again, hoping for his 3rd double kill on this position.
Well, for Space Station, it's do or die right now. They really want to be able to get this offensive round. It's of the utmost importance. And not only that, but J9O and Newers, they have to have something to say, Jesse. These are the 2 highest rated players on Space Station up until this point through 7 maps.
Yeah.
A 1.1 for J9O and a 1.09 for Newers. They were within 1 kill of each other, 65 and 64 through those maps. We've got to see something, man. Any value at all.
I think Jack has been exceptionally impressive for SSG so far this season. I've said it many times now that I think J9O is playing the best Siege of his career. The way that he's been able to play in high-pressure moments specifically has been incredible.
There we go.
And Benja will be the first one to strike, finding his former heroic teammate of Joom for the opening pick, removing him and removing the Fenrir off the board, so you can no longer change which of those mines will be active and which ones will have to be turned off.
Well, after Joom's death, it's all quiet across the battlefield. SSG looking to flirt with that IT wall. It's going to be down to Fultz again here, the IGL, to try and solve this issue. Savage does have that Nitro Cell, though, and we all knew the risk when it came through. That's why they had Newers there to try and catch it, but I'll be honest, guys, the reaction time that you have to catch that thing, it is
Stuff.
Otherworldly. Like, there is no other way, really. You kind of got to get lucky, don't you? And SSG, they will get bullied once again here. Team Secret, they have set up the pins, and they have knocked them down here on Nighthaven Labs so far. It just goes to show you, not only is Twister a fantastic coach, but these guys are great at channeling that vision.
Triple Harbor Breach ban just makes this so tough. SSG need to cheese a pick. Hopefully with Ashen on the glass, they can do that. Toxic Babes will stall him for a little bit longer, though. And it just doesn't feel like he's been able to find an opening. Benja down below got that 1 pick to start things off with a great vertical play onto Joom, but otherwise they haven't found anything else in the server. Somebody's got to find something. Somebody's got to get a cheesy angle. Somebody's got to find an opening, because otherwise Team Secret are in a really strong position.
Benja's going to get taken down through the verticality. Secret had some of their own made, as well as what obviously Benja was applying to the equation, but nothing at all happening. And look at the face of Twister. I think that says it all.
Yeah, it's a statement first half. The pop-off right afterwards showcases just how good of a position they're in. Now, this is Nighthaven Labs. Can be defender-sided sometimes. I think depending on the bomb site, right? Top floor can be really strong. Bottom floor can be really strong for the defenders. So there is opportunity now for Space Station to back it up. I really want to see them banning out the hard breachers just like Secret did. I think that's such a strong strategy. They're going to opt for the shields instead. I can respect it. A lot of teams do opt for that instead on Nighthaven. That's something that Joom loves to play, right? He's a big shield player. Savage loves to play that. He's really big on those defensive shields in particular, so he can be an IGL, call that information without his teammates really having to focus too much. That's a Joom operator, as Deimos is typically the op that he loves to play the most. So, interesting philosophy. SSG going for a very different style. I don't know if it will be as effective as that triple hard breach ban Secret focus down, but I trust that the astronauts know what they're doing.
You got to play what you're comfortable up against, right? That's the big thing. I mean, it's probably one of those things where it really is just a comfortability factor thing. SSG have routinely banned these away on, Nighthaven Labs, particularly the shields. This time a little extra Flavor Flav working its way in there with the Deimos ban coming through. And we'll see what SSG are capable of. The big thing is right now, I know you guys are all staring at your screen thinking the same thing. We're in Kitchen for our very first bomb site.
Oh.
Yes, we are, Jesse.
Sam, this is not a huge surprise. SSG have been playing a lot of Kitchen, actually, this season. Before even
They're one of the only teams playing Kitchen right now, right?
Yeah. Nobody else likes this bomb site. Back during the North America League, they actually played Kitchen 3 separate times. So they do like this bomb site. They are good with it. They had a 2-1 record through those 3 plays, so they certainly enjoy this bomb site, and they've got a good record with it. running that kind of double denial setup with both the castle and the Azami to cut off a lot of those windows. Sight window can be really annoying. The meeting windows can be really annoying, so they've got as much util as possible to lock those angles down, and then playing with a lot of information. You can see your opponents can't thanks to that Fenrir. That's going to really let SSG try to use to their advantage to hold the top floor and then eventually the bomb site too.
A moment that you never see, but Ashen still gets it! We all saw him check the camera! Obviously, you couldn't see the Nook, but somehow Ashen, he has a second sense, he kills him, he types, he does a Nitro Cell, and he dies! What the hell is going on? Team Secrets, they are just able to run the entire show right now, constantly being able to pull the value back across to their end of things. And you know, you get the Joom, but Savage is still up on the Monty. You got Doke in. There's just so many powerful operators to worry about.
And they've fully conceded top floor, Sam. SSG have fallen back completely. They need to get maybe a big Nitro with this kill from Newers. He's got that in his pocket. The C4 could be an answer, but otherwise, giving up all that space, it's a little bit dangerous. Team Secret have the RAM. They can work the verticality. They can start making a lot of annoying angles into kitchen just by playing inside a long desk, playing meeting. Front door will be the other focal point of this push, and SSG still a strong footprint there.
You can see Secret starting to coil around the side, but as soon as I say that, it's much more of a one-front assault here. The Monty, very scared for Newers. The decision-making is going to have to be so darn good. The assist will come in, and once again, they'll trade. Secret keeping it at a 3 versus 3 after Mowgli goes down to that M590. J90 on the long angle here with the ump, still searching for his first kill. It might come right here up against Adrian. This is going to be a bout that must be one for the offense to try and propel themselves into the site.
Are they going to the hatch? Is there any way to open? Oh, they do. They've got can openers.
Yes,
sorry. Okay, freezer hatch could be an opportunity. Drop down with the Monty. It might be a play that's worth thinking about. The window to sight is still fully closed, so no ghost pressure coming in that direction. Monty does go back down the lobby stairs, so that freezer hatch not going to be the point of focus for the push.
Have one over for the little connector area here, as well as in kitchen. He'll get marked out. Noah's expecting him to try and run through, but Fultz on a dime takes his life. He'll push up with the bailiff, might be able to get him, but he won't. Savage will take him down instead. The Thermite, aware of where the player is, he's gonna go for the frag! And Benjamin Master dies to the intelligence of the Thermite. 6-1 right now for Secret, as they've already matched the offensive efforts of Spacestation Gaming.
And I think that really comes down to just exceptional teamwork from both Adrian and Savage working together in this game to make sure that in the 2v3, after their initial player went down, they were still playing on different parts of the map where they could focus the right targets. That was not a super clean round. It got very scrappy in the end. Felt like it could have gone either way, Sam. You get into a 1v1 with a Monty before the defuse kit goes down, you've got to imagine that Benja wins that. So I like his decision to go for that final pick on Adrian, but it's just not quite clean enough. Really close round from Space Station, but horseshoes and hand grenades, Sam, it's 6-1.
Yep. Practically an impossible task for SSG. 5 perfect rounds. Really, really difficult, especially from what we've seen. The vibrato from Secret has looked just so darn good. I especially love how they built things up around the Monty that entire time. I mean, he was the main chess piece. He got moved absolutely everywhere, and he was the guy with the hard breach to get the hatch open. I mean, what was Savage not doing on the shield there? That's the real question.
True. No, he did really good work, and they'll move the shield over to Adrian, actually. So Savage, the typical Monty player, gonna move over to the Ying instead. Maybe have a little bit more control with that Candela as it goes flying.
This seems fast, right? Oh my god.
It's soft.
Why is that soft? There has to be verticality upstairs. There's no way. I refuse.
No one's in the site.
There's barely any verticality upstairs. I feel like this is somewhat of an easy plant, but I don't know. I haven't seen SSG run this before, so I'm as quizzical as you guys are. Adrian's gonna work his way in. He's planting on the box. This is the most default of default spots you can plant on this bomb site. Hello? 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 What is happening right now? Spacestation let this plant go down. The wall was soft. Just everything is so damn discombobulated. Team Secrets are running away with this. Mowgli will go down, but Secret have already done the heavy lifting.
Sam, that's just a blunder.
Jesse, I'm at a loss. Unless somebody just completely forgot where their walls are, or that is intended to have more verticality above it. Either way, massive questions for SSG here as Ashen starts to defuse. They'll have to try and force it. Nobody paid attention to Ashen, though, as Savage is the last man alive. And somehow, some way, Spacestation win this in the post plant. What a round that was. Again, I will still reinstate, that is just utter craziness. Walls completely soft, barely any verticality upstairs. Secret get the plant down in a 5-on-5 scenario practically, and they lose it.
Yeah. I mean, Gen.G bailing them out, I think, with two really important kills in the end there. Faults' one pick onto Noah as well was the real game changer. Noah's in a bit of a power position outside the breach. The problem is he's got to fight 3 players in SSG. The man advantage was already so high for Gen.G. That the wall being soft there is just insane to me, right? Secret realized that the wall was soft. They used Aurora Gate to close off the door to Exo so that nobody could rotate back down through the vending stairs. Then they planted on the box, which, especially with the Monty, I mean, that is not an easy plot to deny with the verticality. So you really have a free plant if you're Secret in that. I think they read it perfectly. I think that's a massive blunder from SSG that they only make because they're under pressure at 6-1 and it's EWC semifinals. Regardless, though, they battle back. And in the chaos, in the most unlikely of circumstances, it is SSG who stand the tallest. Gen.G gets his first kills of the game. And for me, Sam, they're the most important ones that SSG have gotten.
I'd have to agree. I mean, it's either that or SSG are just so highbrow, big brain that they wanted Secret to plant in a situation like that. But again,
I don't know.
When all my Siege senses were just on red as soon as I saw the verticality in there. Just insane round right there. But that was last round. This is now. Yeah. SSG somehow, some way are alive. And Fultz looking to cause some issues. Would be a big win if he's able to get it, but he sprints into the angle. Choom takes his life. Benjamin Master will take Adrian's lunch, though. And somehow, we're still on equal footing.
Faults 10-7. I mean, feeling himself before that.
Oh my God!
That's a big one. That's a good answer.
How blessed can you be, Benja? He almost does it again.
He's not done.
He's going to go back for the fight, Jesse. Do you believe? Do you believe?
With a buck below?
Oh, almost! He's going to end up losing it out to Savage. Oh. Finally, one of those 417 rounds strikes him in the chest after those little bullets tag him from the floorboards, and that's just how dangerous the DMRs are in their current capacity.
Yeah, I mean, Joom kind of makes him sweat, makes him dance a little bit, as you say. I mean, that really makes a bit of a difference. I don't know if he gets the kill if the buck's not there, but maybe he gets out, maybe he's a little bit safer. Regardless, 3v3 now, and we've got really great answers from Team Secret as they've approached this bomb site, but there's still great utility as well in the pockets of SSG. You got Gen.G playing on that smoke, going to be playing towards, I would assume, kind of top Aqua based on where he's at right now. Yeah, can kind of play inside of servers if he needs to. We've got the Kiva barrier still set up by Newers, and of course, that mirror window played by Ashen. Both these players running very aggressive mirror windows, and with an aggressive spot in Raptors, do they know that Newers is here, Sam? It feels like they do, but I'm not sure.
Newers is going to run off to the other side, trying to get some assistance with that window. It's been keeping up. Newers with a nice little find here. The smoke out is more than likely going to swing off this, and what a shot at a Gen.G. Other player hops in on very minimal HP and actually goes down to the barbed wire. Actually, some decent HP. We got to see it on the other monitor there. Jumped in the barbed wire, gets tagged up by a couple bullets, and the last tag of damage is the barbed wire. Although unbeknownst to Ashen, so obviously he's going to talk a little mess. You don't see that anytime at all inside the kill feed, so a little fun to be had with that one. SSG with two defenses. I'm not going to say solid because that first one still, I can't believe it happened.
Yes.
Second one, a heck of a lot better.
So for sure. I mean, they're feeling better about that. In the 3v3, Newers really stepped up. Of course, the brand new pickup for SSG. Important to see that turn around a little bit. There's the mirror band that I expected kind of in the first half to be taken out after round 3, but it comes in round 9 instead where it will get removed. Very powerful operator once again on that top floor, and will be a tack timeout from Team Secret, deciding they want to talk about these last couple of attacks in a little bit of a more composed manner. They're not going to know what bomb sites they're going to have to go to, Sam. This next one could be either back to Kitchen Cafeteria or storage.
Don't tell me that, Jesse. Stop it.
I think Kitchen Cafeteria is unlikely, but if any team would run it twice, it'd probably be SSG. After that, it gets a little bit more predictable. As bomb sites unlock, they will probably go back to those sites. But it really does kind of stress the importance of this moment. You know, you're up against a team who are famous for comebacks, famous for winning in moments where things seem completely lost. 6-3 is not where you can start. Start letting off the gas.
That reaction from Joom dying through the spray on the window is just...
He looks scared.
Gold. Yeah, dude, that was a jump scare right there for sure. Rainbow Six Siege is a horror game, guys. Just remember that. Just remember that. I think I was talking to Jess earlier about that round that Stompin had where he ran away from the last guy, started to defuse downstairs, and they had to chase him upstairs. And Jess just goes, I hate those moments like that when you have to run away. I just hate getting chased.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Hey, it's a very real thing. Same for me on drones. When I'm trying to run away from people on drones, I just get so antsy. Yeah. Got that little girl laughs. Like, so post timeout here and post random antics of me bringing things up. Team Secret will be back into the fold here post timeout, and obviously SSG are going to have some things to say with call out too. I'm curious to see how both of these teams stylistically look into these next rounds, especially with Team Secret being on the doorstep of success. You expect a little bit more cheese here, just some other strategies to come out, because if you just surprise and win around, that's the game.
Yep. Connector wall was left soft here. It's not the most critical wall when you're defending on storage, but still maybe one they would have wanted to address. It got pinged out, so they are very much aware of the fact that it's soft. Not going to be a mistake this time at the very least as they start to set things up. The Bandit not getting removed, by the way. Most teams, every team will essentially ban the Kaid on this map, and then most teams pair it with a Bandit ban, but it is not uncommon to see it be Kaid plus something else. The fact that Bandit gets let through means things get a little bit awkward for Team Secret. They have, of course, all hard breaches available to them, and that includes this Maverick, which gets really quick work on the wall, actually. Adrian does a line at the top, line at the bottom, and it becomes soft, so not going to be a problem for them at all. But always something to keep a little bit of a mind out for. Once this wall gets open, Sam, you can kind of deny that top floor pressure for just a storage jump in, right? As an attacking team, you don't need to fully take the top floor. You kind of just need to open IT wall, because now you can stop anybody from denying the plant vertically from up above, assuming you want to go for the execute where you just jump in storage window. If you want to go more for control, that's where it starts coming down to, okay, we got to clear the whole top floor instead.
Nice little discovery work here from Mowgli. Going to find the man inside of the bomb site, and I do believe this bomb site is one we haven't seen yet from SSG, so we'll beg the question how they want to try and hold on to this top floor, because it is of the utmost importance. We saw them setting things up over towards IT, and obviously Secret breaking that down already. You can see the bees swarming inside of there right now as Grim has launched a few of those inside. No real value out of those just yet. Newers has been tagged up, though, and I know that we do have Ashen over inside of Raptors unless he's rotated off. Where did he find that frag at? Oh, look! Ashen did move away from Raptors. He was top blue stairs and discovers the man with the case.
Oh, no.
Is he going to get even more aggressive? He will. He knows that player's right around the corner. So he'll sprint back into the site, rather the top floor. Doesn't know there's potentially a player over in Garage. Sees all those bees. Does have to mean that there was somebody that applied them, right? Continues to hold that down. Has Benja in tow as well, so a lot of positive things here for Space Station.
Kiva's providing a bit of security. Even with the Zagoo, it's still going to be a fight coming out. Noah's got pinned down into a corner, but at the same time, so is Ashen. Noah makes his great escape, and meanwhile, we're on the site.
The Blackbeard Joom, he goes down. He runs a little bit too close. His head will be taken off, but the Nitro Cell, it misses SSG, but the smallest marker will end up missing out on that case. And Mowgli with a nice frag, but the case has to go down. Now there's a man above, the verticality being applied. Mowgli, he's more than likely going to be able to get this case down. Newers will abandon the verticality. And now it's down to the 1 versus 2 on very low HP. They're both staring at the hatch. They know this verticality is more than likely going to come through. He will find one. And Newers, one of the men with the most 1v2 clutches, or 1vx clutches rather, for SSG on this team, tied 2-2 with Benjamaster. It would propel him into the lead amongst his peers. Mowgli waits off in the distance. The case right here, more than likely going to be flirted with by Newers just to see if he can get a move out of Mowgli. He knows he's right around this space. Here's the shots. The pre-fire won't find him. He's going to put a couple slugs in, but that's it. It didn't matter. The time had already eaten away at them, and Secret steal away Nighthaven Labs from SSG.
The unbreakable mental looks broken across the EWC stage. What a ridiculous performance coming out from Team Secret. I don't think anybody thought they would be doing that to SSG, especially on a map like Nighthaven. They break the 3-game losing streak and now take a map advantage, heading to their own pick of Bank for map number 2. Mowgli, an MVP performance, standing so tall in that game, looking so good, but everybody contributing for Team Secret, making it look easy against North America's finest.
I mean, just truly impressive that Secret called up their own number and said, okay, we're going to do some research, we're going to let them have Nighthaven Labs, and we're just going to make their offense look like a joke.
Yep.
They choose defense, they have a stellar strategy walking into this, and truly, it looked like SSG completely melted down on the offensive side, especially after that very first offensive round that Secret get, they win.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you dig yourself out of that hole, Jesse?
Yeah, it gets really awkward, really tough. Felt like they got into their heads. Felt like SSG cracked maybe a little bit more than what we've ever really seen from them before. They had a couple of good moments, couple of good rounds in there from Spacestation for sure, but that's not what they hold themselves up to in terms of an expectation. They're going to have to battle back from map 2, Sam. They have to be a lot stronger on Bank if they want to take down this Team Secret team. We could be looking at a very strong all-European grand final, Sam, if Spacestation don't find the will to battle back against this European squad.
Yeah, Team Secret quite dominant here. SSG trying to figure out exactly what mental gymnastics they need to perform in order to get out of this one.
Hello guys, I'm back with another challenge. We're gonna see a 1v1 between Fultz and Benja, the recent NAL champions. Now they're gonna do a specific 1v1 on a game that we all love. The game that was released when you were 3 years old, Benja. That's gonna be Rainbow Six Vegas. Guys, get ready. You can go ahead. Good luck to everyone. How many DPIs is that?
Oh, I think that's 400 somehow.
All right.
Oh,
So they're doing it without sound, which is going to make it an extra level harder, but also funnier because then they can run a little bit. Fixed.
Master, wait, you committed suicide, Master. You're that
What?
scared.
I could have killed you. I could have killed
You don't
you.
want to
Did
face me.
you set a grenade? What happened?
I don't know.
You'd rather commit suicide than face me, Master.
Nice recoil control, Benja.
Oh, jeez. Frag out. Oh, that's a good frag.
Oh yeah. That
I
was
don't know
clean.
how to sprint. Like,
Yeah.
You're a juggernaut.
The recoil is crazy.
Trying a new style,
Oh,
Master. Trying a new style.
Right now, Pulse is going a little bit quicker with a long range kill. Was that a long range kill?
I mean, if you'd like to say that.
All right, so you actually knows this. You know this. You just use the ladder. You're using positioning.
It's for some people it's just genetic. That's what
Oh
it
yeah,
comes down
yeah.
to. Yeah.
That's just natural talent, right?
Yeah.
The pressure is mounting. That's 4-1, right? I think
5-0.
5-0.
Yeah.
Just for honor, okay?
Oh.
You must be low HP. There's no way you're.
chalk it.
He's abusing the position as well. Tension is high.
It's
You're
really
in the
not to
basement,
play
Master.
zero. Yeah, I'm in the
You're in
basement.
the basement still. Okay.
Yeah.
He's still in the basement. He doesn't know how to get out.
He's a sewer rat trapped.
That's it. I think that's the 7-0. Well. Fultz. Just showing the veteran experience right there. It's all right, Benja. It's all right.
okay.
I mean, he was 20 when this game came out, you know?
Yeah. He's
I was like 40.
40 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, proper experience. But I mean, it's fine. You should get that 7-0 now in this game and try to not do that in the next few days. I guess
True,
that's
true,
probably
true.
the best thing to do. That was a 1v1 between Benja and Fultz. A proper 7-0, clean one. Hopefully that doesn't happen in the next few days for these guys. We'll see you guys with another 1v1 with new players.
Hopefully it doesn't happen, but unfortunately it did. Labs is done and dusted. And if anything, Anne, we heard Ashen say specifically earlier today, there's this one map that you guys should never take us to.
Yeah, that was Nighthaven Labs, obviously a map that we have just seen and we thought SSG were going to do well at, but that, with Ashton saying that earlier today, it's kind of a top 10 videos before disaster because this was really not fortunate for the side of SSG. Secret coming out victorious though, it's a really good way to set them up in this match too.
You could not have said that better, by the way, Anne. I could definitely be off the desk giggling to that one, but I'm disappointed by SSG. I think all of the NA fans and the fans around the world are a little bit disappointed from that performance, but you really have to give props to the way that Team Secret dissected them. I said it might come down to the early round. I was right in a way that SSG just didn't get kicking in almost any part of the round, and I think Team Secret read them like a book. I'm kind of speculating that they let Nighthaven go through on purpose because they were prepared. They're a very prepared team, and maybe that's just what happened there.
I think as well, it's just for SSG here, this map is now over. Like you can't, like, there's no point in sitting here and thinking about it and knowing Secret, knowing SSG, knowing how they approach things. They are very much going to be able to just like mentally reset and come into the next one. The next one being Bank. And this is where we want to see some adaptations from their side of things because Secret is looking so incredibly deadly and it would be so sad if NA goes out to EU in a 2-0.
I worry a little bit about moving into map 2 because the trouble that I sort of likened it to was that we saw the G2 win massively on their map pick, and conversely the other way. I wanted to see that in this matchup because I thought specialization teams like these two teams, they would do well. I think unfortunately Team Secret, after we saw the 7-1 against Matchco on this map, where do you sort of rank SSG on that sort of pedestal? I don't even think you put them close. They had massive overtime wins and losses recently on the map. They go to a lot of rounds. They don't seem to be able to close this map out confidently, or they choke a max OT on it. It's not looking good, at least from a track record perspective.
Well, the worrying thing is that something that Secret have been doing so far at the tournament is they know exactly what the win condition is, what they need to play against specific opponents. Like we've seen aggression from them before against against a team like W7M. We've seen them being a little bit more, well, I mean, the way you were saying it in the green room was being a little bit ratty, you know, a little bit stinky here and there, just being maybe passive. But then going into that second map, we notice it's a very light map for Secret. It has been historically. They've always really enjoyed playing this map. That also means for SSG, there is so much footage on this. When we spoke to Carla yesterday, he said, okay, you know, with playing an NA team, you know how they play, we know how they're going to play. This is going to be different. He has that footage on Secret on how they play on this map, and he should be able to set up a game plan for it.
Yeah, that's obviously what we would expect and what we would hope moving into this. I think for the semifinal as well, both how SSG has been performing and how Secret has been performing, it will be such a shame if this does not go all the way to that decider. But first off, SSG has to crawl their way back out. They are no strangers to having their backs against the wall and coming out on top, but the question is, can they do it in this semifinal on Secret's map pick?
Welcome back, everyone, to the Esports World Cup here in Saudi Arabia. We just got done with SSG on their first map up against Team Secret, which didn't turn out exactly the way they wanted to, Jesse. They were talking an awful lot of mess earlier on for some of our videos, saying Nighthaven Labs is not the spot that you want to take them, but Secret did. And they took it in pretty convincing fashion. Now we're lining up with Bank, and the only thing I think that is in here is probably some money for Secret, as they're looking to quickly run on to the grand finals up against G2.
There's no doubt about it, Sam. Team Secret are in the position to make it to the grand finals, but I've got some copium to come out for the SSG
all right,
fans
NA boy, let's hear it.
Number one, we're going to Bank. This is not a bad map for Spacestation Gaming. They played it 4 times for the NAL record, or through the NAL season. They had a 2-2 record, most recently beating Shopify Rebellion 8-7. So they can play this map. They're happy to play this map. They're not so shaken to be going to a map like Bank. And second of all, they're confident when their backs are against the wall. It's what Ginny said before throwing it straight to us. Spacestation Gaming have won the last 7 elimination games in a row through both EWC and the North America League playoffs. SSG love to play against elimination. Yes, they're in a tough spot. Yeah, Team Secret are looking very comfortable, but they've got the good starting side here on Bank. They'll be playing on the defense. They should be confident racking up the rounds. If they don't, if this is a strong Secret start and they've counter-stratted all of what SSG like to do on this map, well, we could be headed to bed in the next 45 minutes. But Sam, I've got a lot of confidence in this SSG team. We'll be bringing out some strong stuff on the map of Bank. Quickly touching on the operator bans, usually you'll see Hard Breach kind of be the focus for defenders. Instead, they do go again in a different direction, going for both the Monty and the Ying, leaving both Ace and Habana up for Team Secret to have that ranged Hard Breach available to them. And the Kaid, a perma-ban on Bank, paired with a whole host of operators. The castle a little bit weird, but nothing too out of the ordinary from Team Secret.
Yeah, I really do hope that we do get a little bit of a better showing here from SSG, and it's not just utter dominance from Secret. Although I will be very happy for Mowgli and just everything he's been through his pretty tumultuous career, honestly. I mean, like time and time again, we've been like, oh, this French team is going to do very well, and they just continued to fall flat on their face. Now he's on the Secret roster. They're looking so solid with this lineup. And we'll have to see if they can build off of what they've done here in this first map, as Bank is well underway. Joom already working his way in, probably going to have a teammate eliminate this door for him just so he doesn't make any noise. And that's exactly what's going to go on. They're trying to find the angle. It'll take a couple extra rounds, and Joom will sneak into E2.
Keep in mind the Valk Chem is inside of lobby. Newer strikes first, taking down the Mowgli player you were just touching on, but there goes the Nook. Does manage to answer back. Now the identity will be revealed. They'll know there's one, and Benja in a real tight spot. No way to get out of it, Sam.
Beautiful find here from Benja and J90. Joom will find one of his own, though, and somehow, some way, these fates have been intertwined. 2 versus 2 here. It seems like every single time SSG get value, Secret are somehow, some way capable of equalizing. It shows up yet again here in round 1 of Bank. Newers does still have a Nitro cell to try and toss into this equation. Joom is going to quickly move his way downstairs, though. Nobody ready for it, as he's like lightning in a bottle through marble stairs. Benja knows one's over side of the main portion of the site. Joom's going to wrap back towards the back end here, in on the office side. bit of a fake plant, but Bench is probably not even going to be able to hear it with that phone going off in his pocket. He'll drop on, and then he'll be discovered by Joom. No plant necessary, just a 4K out of your Nook.
That's ridiculous, Sam. The Danish operator coming out takes down the Danish player of SSG to finish things off. Really strong play coming out from Joom. A 4K in the first round. Once again, he started his career back on Heroic. His very first LAN event for Joom. Back at the Yongchiping Major, and back then, Benjamaster was by his side as a teammate. Now here in Riyadh, they come together as enemies. They play that so well, Sam. In the early round, they find the space, they find the gap, they find the early players, whittle it down to a 2v2, and then what do they say? They say, well, Benj isn't open. He's not leaving open. He's happy to sit there. Let's go hunt down the site player, make it a 2v1. Ben just panicking. He needed to go back to site to play with Newers, but just didn't have that decision, didn't make that call, wasn't really aware of what Team Secret were doing. Yeah. So tough spot to be in if you're Benjamaster, loses the plot on that, and Team Secret go up 1-0 again.
It's just super difficult. It's so insane to me as well that Team Secret call for the Nook play right off rip.
Yeah.
And the fact that everything lined up perfectly how you would want for Nook. You get that door open for E2, the camera's on, everybody feels comfortable because they don't see anybody in the hallway. Joom's holding that angle over towards open area, finds a kill, and Secret blow the doors off SSG on the mid floor, able to quickly translate that into a basement attack, and really, that's all she wrote for round one. On into round two very quickly after Secret once again proved just how good they are up against this Spacestation roster.
So top floor defense coming through. We're probably going to see things go a little bit slower to start things off, as this will be a lobby entry to come out for Team Secret. They've got a lot of players up on the windows. Means there's going to be a lot of pressure on Ashen, playing in that Azami, playing in checkers, making sure that he can keep that closed for as much as possible. Banning the castle means that position Ashen is in, just at the top of the lobby stairs, is going to be really awkward to try to hold, because typically the castle barricades would be used to block off a lot of the lines of sight. Now you can't really do that as easily. You've got to rely on those Kiba barriers.
Let's see them hide. As my friend would say, a really big fucking all.
Aggressive swing coming in here. Attempting to work their way up Spiral. Ashen with a kill already. This player in E3 has to find some value on what a move here from Fultz. He's going to work his way back into, but they've discovered him. They know that he's in this space now. That cancel wall's already been opened too. This is going to make things quite a bit of an issue for him. Secret could potentially get some value out of this down the line. SSG have already done a decent amount of heavy lifting. 2 kills, Joom down, the player that basically run roughshod over the entire first round, and Mowgli. Finally, Secret will be able to get something that's going to be Fultz, that player inside of that E3 elevator. Ends up going down as he tries to cross across the no man's land that's created with that gap from the Habana. Now a minute remaining here. Secret to try and work this out, and they find yet another kill. The EE1D forces Ashen to stand still, and he'll die to the 417.
That comes back to the castle ban. That angle could have been blocked off, but it just wasn't able to be blocked off. Good find from Secret. I thought that top lobby hold was going to be way too strong from SSG, but Secret instead. And they're back with 2 of their own. Now they're in a position where they're in that 3v3. They still have the defuse kit over lobby side, but everybody else on Secret is rotating towards square. The defuse kit will be all by itself as this push comes in primarily on the east side of the map.
Newers down, and it seems like Secret didn't just simply do no wrong. A double kill for Savage, a 5v3 gone awry. And how good of a mental can you have when everything that you do right somehow turns out wrong?
Benja again left all by himself. It was a 2-man opening advantage for Spacestation Gaming as they had a really nice hold with both Fultz and Ashen playing together at the front of the bomb site. We saw that one from Fultz. There was a big pick to start things off from Ashen too, but then one by one those players got traded out. The long angles being held by Secret. The fact that Habana didn't get banned out meant that cancel wall was opened up, and there were some real strong angles being played by Secret in that, which provided even more pressure and denied even more positions to be played by this SSG squad. Newers on the clash in that round was playing more towards Janitor. Didn't end up having much of an impact. It was kind of crazy. for the first kind of 2 minutes of that round, the full focus was over towards lobby. Eventually, Newers was like, okay, I got to rotate over lobby side. As soon as he did that, the rest of Team Secret rotated back over towards that janitor side and didn't ever really need to get too close and personal with the clash. Playing mind games with SSG, taunting them and pulling them across the map. Now 2-0 up in the lead. When they went 2-0 up last time, call it attack timeout, Sam. This time it's going to be reserved for a little bit later, but if Team Secret keep winning, I mean, it's got to come at some point.
I mean, at the end of the day, Jesse, you're not the one playing the game, are you? You got to let the boys work. That's what all that coaching outside of the lobby is all about.
I'm the one casting the game.
Yeah, yes, yes, you are. Thank you for pointing that out, Mr. Chick. Thank you very much.
Stop playing.
Yes, but SSG, I mean, everything that they've built on, you know, the foundation of this roster has been all about mental fortitude and dealing with the hard situations. I don't know of a better test than being down a whole map and down 2 rounds right now on the follow-up and a semi-final here for what could be one of the most important series that Spacestation played this entire year.
Yeah. This is a team that has been trying the best for a while. Here's Joom again, playing on the Nook and finding an entry kill. How many times are we going to see this? It's a perfect counter to this Valkyrie that's being consistently brought when SSG are on the bottom floors. And once again, Joom just gets away with it. Nobody else on Space Station wants to hold on. Maybe Newers will peek up, but it's so scary.
Wow. What else do you say? Just wow. Like checking out a book at the library. Mowgli steals Newers away here from SSG.
Are you implying you steal books from the library, Sam?
I was hoping you wouldn't catch that. I mean,
took me a minute.
Not to anybody's knowledge, because I'm so good at stealing the books from the library. Adrian's gonna get a kill. Fultz as well. But man, guys, I mean, SSG's just really going to have to do something to convince me, because right now this is just Secret just taking the reins and running away with this map. J90, he's got a nitro cell, but he doesn't even really have a chance. They know where this guy is. There's a smoke down. The plant is going down too. Adrian more than likely will be the solution to the last remaining problem on Space Station. But as soon as I say that, no real angle adopted. So obviously, Secret have a lot of different ways that they can break this down with the last 3 remaining players. It's going to be really difficult for J90 to try and work this. Secret, more than likely just going to bully him with the blitz, and it is going to be Savage that will gun him down with the pistol. Man, I wish there was more to say, but there really isn't. It's just Secret all day, every day in this series.
I mean, let's talk about Joom for a little bit, right? I mean, this guy has been absolutely ridiculous. Comes to this tournament with a 71% cost, one of the highest that we have here in EWC, and it really punches above its weight for the rating that he brings into this game too, right? Joom has consistently been one of those players that every single round was finding value for Team Secret. Through the group stage, through the quarterfinals versus Weibo, felt like all the time you could count on Joom for one. You could count on Joom to have that impact. You could count on Joom to be the guy who stands his position and at least goes even for his gunfights. Today, he's running away with it. He's not going even. He's not getting his 1. He's getting his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the difference that ends up coming out. As I was mentioning earlier, we will get attack timeout from Callout this time, and comes 1 round later, but can it make any more of a difference?
You can see the frustration even on Callout's face as they're trying to figure out a strategy, some way to finally nip at the sides, the heels of Secret. But between these 2 maps, Jesse, they've been able to muster all of 3 rounds.
Yeah.
Such a difficult thing to try and work out of, but you just got to give Secret their flowers, man. They are looking so very good. It is definitely no secret now how talented this team is.
Yeah. Expect the Tellers and Archives to come out at some point from SSG, not necessarily round 4, but that's a bomb site that they've played 5 times already this season, and they have a 100% defensive win rate on it. So they really do like to play Tellers and Archives, that 4th site on bank that most teams shy away from. They'll choose the basement for round 4, but that will become an option for them if they don't like retreating back to top floor without the castle, if they don't like going back to open area. Operator bans came out. It was the Mira ban from Team Secret, which I think is really smart. Mira can be super powerful on a map like Bank. And then it's the Habana ban from SSG. I don't hate it. There are a lot of tools that can still do what Hibana does, though, right? Usually Hibana gets banned next to the ace so that you can open walls, or so you can't open walls that are being mirror tricked. You can open walls that are a long distance, specifically that top elevator wall, the Kanto walls it's sometimes called, impossible to open without one of those two operators. They'll have the ace if they need it, they'll have the thermite if they need it, and that's going to be the goal for this round. They've also brought so many can openers, 4 of them across Noah and Jume, so that'll assist with the hatches, making sure that they can get every angle that they could possibly want to open things up. Spacestation going for a full anchor setup, as the last time that Roam game really did not work out.
You can see from Secret's lineup, especially from what they brought initially in the prep phase there, that they have most definitely identified where the bomb site is, so that early info working its way in. All the sense, a lot of just lodgement utility on top of that as well. You've got Noah working his way in here with the Capital, and obviously Adrian on that glass, the man that can see through the smokes. Could be of quite high value once we work our way towards the bomb site and start looking at the case down.
They're recognizing the top floors are free. They'll start to use the can openers to open up the hatches. Inside of the server stairs, it's going to be Ashen playing on the Warden. Interesting, the Surya Gate was active there. Sometimes you'll see teams stand on the little cart inside of server, and that'll disable the Surya Gate. Then once the hard breach gets put on it, you jump off, it reactivates, it destroys the hard breach. Because this time, though, it was just active from the start, they can clear it with a flash, and it's not that big of a deal.
Norris has been found inside a garage. Is he going to go for this? It seems like he is. Might have somebody else manage the camera just so that they can try and take this gunfight cleanly. Either that or this is just going to happen inside of a vacuum. Either way, Secret are working on things across the map here, so still will have some side effect to the overall play.
Like that.
And there you go. That's exactly what you were asking for, and you shall receive.
All right, well, we got it on the other hatch, so it's nice to at least see it in action. Forced to use an exothermic charge instead. That'll be the last exothermic charge and the last hard breach in general. So not sure if they've been able to do a lot of hard breaching inside of server up until this point. Might be a little awkward to get a plant down if your goal is to go straight from server.
Oh, well, they know that Jume's around here. Ashen will quickly nip that in the bud, though, as Adrian is starting to run into a couple issues here up against Newers. But this Glass is going to have a pretty solid opportunity working his way through this smoke. What a find. Secret will open up the gates, but Benja tries to slam them shut. You see the player rotating through garage. They found Mowgli, but he'll find one of his own as Benja tries to assist Fultz as much as humanly possible. But now he's stuck inside of the elevator. Adrian will go down to Fultz, actually, as he whips out the secondary. This is an active clash, and he's going to be able to find it, but Fultz! Holy crap! On a dime, he removes the face of his opponent. And SSG are at least able to get one, but man, did it take a Herculean effort.
You know what, though, Sam? I do like that round, right? They were aware of how Team Secret have been dominating the early game, so they decided to rein it in. Let's play full 5-man anchor. We don't have to fight this aggressively. Team Secret ended up going for a back take, weirdly enough. You see the Capital descends, you think surely it's going to be a server drop. Not so this time. Didn't have that pressure inside of server. Ashen was never cleared off the server stairs, so they said, screw it, let's go hit the back. That kind of caught SSG off guard at first. They started to get those picks initially, but then Benja really stepped up and started answering back. He has been the late round player for SSG since we loaded into Bank, and finally it feels like he's able to step up and really have the big round that his teammates need him to. Fultz as well, playing exceptionally well with his teammate in that 2v2. They were separated, but when all the focus was towards Benja, Fultz on the clash realized, hey, I can't just be a shield at this point. I need to have a gun out. I need to have impact. Ended up getting the last couple of kills in that round, so really good stuff from Fultz and Benja in the 2v2. Not the cleanest, not the greatest, but in the end, they had a game plan, and it really did work out the way they wanted it to.
A win is a win.
Yeah.
A win is a win. And SSG will take anything right now to try and get themselves back into this game. Mental fortitude, sure, but you still need results. That's really what feeds the beast at the end of the day. Spacestation will likely pretty happy with the result of that round. They will attempt to build off of that on the top floor, which has not really boded well for them thus far. We've seen, I believe, 2 rounds up here, and both of them not exactly great. So we'll see exactly what SSG are capable of this go around. A little bit of a change up here with a couple of operators, particularly Fultz on the Yokai.
Yeah, the Echo could have a bit of an impact. I mean, they've been playing a lot of Valkyrie so far, so maybe the Echo changes things, does things in a little bit of a different manner. Last time, Fultz was playing on that elevator position with the Bandit. Bandit's still an option for them, but maybe they thought after banning the Hibana that it wouldn't be as big of an issue. I can tell you that they did open the Kanto wall, and it's being patched up actively by those Kiba barriers. The brunt of this push from Team Secret might be looking more towards the stock side of the map. I say that. A lot of their players are still focused over towards lobby. Feels like this Kanto wall is still a big priority, but doesn't mean they can't just jump in and stock and take a fight.
Looks like that's exactly what they're going to do, but this time SSG is the one to get away scot-free. Something we haven't seen this entire series until round 5 of Bank. Adrian still holding things down on Kanto wall. Ashen and the rest of SSG are going to grind to a halt as they know that Secret have to try and work their, themselves into the map now.
I mean, it was a 3v5 last time on this bomb site, Sam, and Team Secret still managed to recover, so it's important that SSG do not toss this man advantage in the bin. Ashen and Fultz, the aggressive players playing inside of checkers, need to value their lives. If they go for swings, they've got to be successful because you cannot bleed players back to a 3v3 and lose the round like you did.
What a shot out of Newers. Able to clip Adrian out there on rappel. No one knows there's one right around the barrier. Is it 2 for Ashen? Close, but no cigar. It's Fultz instead. SSG with their second defensive round.
All right, they get the job done eventually. Top player at the top of Spiral does go down, and they do secure their man advantage hold this time. So the top floor, probably the best looking bomb site for Space Station in this rotation. They get it done in round number 5, so they managed to make that victory be found eventually. Does feel like for Team Secret, they've really fallen off on those early rounds. They haven't been able to secure those big man advantages like they did previously. SSG are playing a lot closer together. They don't open things up for, say, a Nook to wander around and find free entries, so that's going to really make that difference. Now, though, they've got to go to a different bomb site. I said I wanted to see Tellers and Archives. We're not going to get it out of Space Station this time, so maybe it's not going that well in scrims recently. Not sure what it is, but they'll choose to go open area. I will say, before this tournament, Sam, they were 0 for 4 on this bomb site, and if you include round 3, that would be 0 and 5 this season.
Jesse, sometimes you just need to keep stuff close to your chest, man. I don't need to know that. I just don't, okay? I don't. In fact, I don't want to know that. I'm removing that from my brain, okay?
Okay. Team Secret, 50% attacking win rate if you include round 3, 2-2 record.
Okay.
Although Team Secret have played a lot of third-party tournaments on this map, like Malta series and stuff like that. So I don't have great data for Team Secret, admittedly.
Well, I'm glad you said it, because
I'll give the copium back. Like maybe their attacking win rate is horrible on this bomb site, and we just don't know because they're all games that happen in Malta Cyber Series.
Guys, don't worry. I'll take them off broadcast and talk about being an NA truther. It's okay, all right? It's pure copium out of Jesse's side of the broadcast right now. Secret are going to hit the field once again here. We got the shield back in for Savage. Noah's got the soft destruction to try and assist, and let alone that fact, but some DMRs to boot. Adrian rocking the Doke, and obviously the Twitch working its way in on Mowgli.
Yeah, so the top floor clear is obviously going to be the most important part of this open area defense. Fultz, Newers, and Ashen, the 3 entry flex players on SSG who will often be playing these aggressive positions, will be working together to lock down this top floor. The anchors can play nitros from down below. Both anchors, actually. Well, Benja and J9, I should say, going to be playing down below here. Fultz maybe a more traditional anchor, but can rotate back if he needs to at some point. Mowgli already looking into square, kind of with that smoke, threatening that they could go for a fast square push.
Noah gets decimated, though. Ashen able to find one. There's a blitz now hounding down on him, and he's not able to get away from Savage, who will pistol whip the man. And Secret now firing on all cylinders. Mowgli constantly with this axe of a gun, taking lives left and right. What an easy round for Secret. They practically just see the light at the end of the tunnel the entire time. No second guessing, no nothing at all. Once that gap is shown, Jesse, It's simply a push of a button, it seems, and Secret take the round.
It's got to be frustrating for Spacestation too, because they're winning a lot of entries. They've got a couple of these rounds now where they grab the opening pick, but it's just not enough to secure and hold on to. Got to be frustrating coming through. We'll get right into the operator bans. Ace clash the first two, or sorry, Habana clash first two. Should be Ace and Kaid to round this out if we're playing by history's rules. It will be Ace. The Mira backs up the clash ban though, so the second and third most banned operators will be removed from bank, while the most banned does stay up. Means that hard breach might get a little bit more awkward for SSG, but again, I'm sure they know what they're up to in this matchup.
Well, I'll at least tell you this. We've only seen bank twice before this series. This will be the third time.
Yep.
45% overall defensive win rate right now. Which, I mean, to be fair, that's about right for bank. Those mid-floor and top-floor bomb sites, guys, if you just, you don't play a lot of bank, they're not exactly great. I'll just tell you that right now. The basement bomb site is fantastic. What's his win rate? Actually,
Camera ready.
Yes, Sam. Yes, Sam.
I'll just say it. It was a 40% win rate. I didn't look at that before I said the thing. It's supposed to be better, guys. It's supposed to be better. Okay? It's not my fault. It's not. Secret are gonna go, I believe. Is that? Okay, no, it is downstairs. I got so scared for a second. Oh my days, these guys are gonna give me a heart attack. Okay, SSG out on the field as Team Secret will be holding up the basement with a little bit of an extension here to try and get in SSG's faces.
Yeah, interesting how much we are seeing them extend up a little bit. Won't be heavily. Joom just going to play the server stairs, not really committed to the roam.
Where is Savage at?
Savage is playing mid-floor elevators.
Is he in the...
There he's at.
That has to be an open hatch. There's no way.
Yeah, the hatch will be open. We see this decently often. His goal is probably to shoot a couple drones and fall off. If he's nasty with it, maybe he finds a head. But if he dies, it's like a little scary because you really want as many players alive for the hold. And when you do have this 5v5 push come out, when you're playing this full anchor strategy. So if Savage goes down, it's certainly not the position he wants to be in, but that's why both those walls are reinforced. He's listening for drones at the moment. He's got the default cam too. Mowgli drops first, and Savage, I'm assuming, will drop very shortly after.
Yeah, as soon as there's any information that, it's put on him. Either that or if the Blackbeard runs up here, I'm sure they'll just exchange looks, might pop a couple shots, and he'll dip. There's the drone, he'll see it, and he'll drop.
Simple.
As God intended.
So once again, the Kaid was not banned, Sam, which means that it's going to be something that Spacestation have to deal with. Jane, I know on the Mavericks is the obvious counter, and I think they should have no problems with that, but might make things a little bit slower for them as they start to draw the lines on this square hatch, and this slowly goes open. It provides an opportunity for Mowgli. If he gets creative, he could pop this Nitro and get a really cheeky pick early in this match.
Mowgli with a beautiful fight onto Ash, and a little bit of a caster's curse there, Jesse.
Well, he does it. That's just not the hatch I was talking about. But, I mean, it works. Sure.
It does indeed. It does indeed. He's looking for another one here, and this is quite the angle to do it on as well. One run out won't be able to tag him up as all. Mowgli's not really taking the opportunity. Folt has to take the fight as Savage's Nitro Cell rings true. Won't be an equalization. It'll most definitely be Secret in the lead. Newers will drop in. Frag grenade here. Joom a little bit of damage as he tries to discover that elevator player, but Newers running an entire clinic inside of the bomb site right now. That AK eating everybody alive, and they knew where Joom was. Oh my days. He must have dashed in there, and he was seen from the hatch. Well done from SSG. As they are very close to equalizing here, but man, Secret are still constantly neck and neck with them on these rounds. You really haven't seen a wholeheartedly convincing round out of Spacestation Gaming yet, have you?
No, and I mean, sometimes it comes off individual plays, but that's going to be more than good enough. Big round from Ethan James as Newers puts a really big 3K in this round. Everybody swings them, and he says, line them up. I will gladly take those kills. Thank you, sir. Feeling good about that one. Again, newest player on Spacestation Gaming, came in just at the start of the season and has really, I think, been looking better and better every single game. It seems like every match you watch, Newers looks more integrated into the core. He's immediately bought into the system, looks really, really clean coming in with this SSG squad.
Yeah, I'm so happy for Newers, especially because he started off so strong in that first year with Oxygen, and I already can hear the things in chat. I know, guys, the LMG meta was a thing. Newers was an LMG merchant, yada, 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 yada. But listen, the guy is extremely talented. His mechanics are something that you cannot take away from him, and he's proven it time and time again. Especially now on this SSG roster. This is what can happen with teams, guys. Sometimes you just get a little demotivated, and that's nobody's fault. Sometimes it just happens. Things aren't meshing well, and you guys don't work as a team. That's why changes need to be implemented. That's why this trade happened in the first place. Oxygen needed a leader. SSG needed somebody that shoots straight.
All right.
Everybody's happy.
Sure. Everybody's happy. I mean, you're right. Both teams do look greatly improved after that roster swap, and so it seems like good things are on the horizon for both these teams. SSG, a lot will depend on kind of how this series does end in terms of their legacy and how people talk about this trade going forward. Difference between a semi-final exit and then making the grand finals of EWC is quite a massive one when you go back to the history books. Top floor will be the bomb site once again for the first time from Secret. They'll have that castle to be able to use, try to keep some of these checkers positions closed.
No dice from Noah. A wrap from the Blackbeard. This could be a really big deal. The frag grenade's pouring in, but somehow he gets the kill. It's a 2 versus 2. A find on the up from Noah as he is practically playing chess in checkers right now. 1 versus 1. Joom is down. The ump, the only thing separating Team Secret from success right here. Noah just has to line up the shots. J90 does not have the case. I think that's off in the ether somewhere. J90! What? What a find on the sense. He'll kill the downed player. He'll spray him through the checkers wall. And SSG will get the last laugh.
Sam, you can never count out J90, the clutch master for Spacestation back during the NAL. 23% success rate in the clutch through both reload and stage 1. He was the guy that you wanted late round in those desperate situations. Hasn't had the same impact just yet through EWC, but that round we got to see exactly what J90 is made of.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Jack Burkhardt steps up to the plate. He knocks it out of the park. You know, Jesse, I figured we were doing real names today. You know, I got the whole list. I got them all too. You know, I got all of Team Secrets as well. If the moment asks for it, guys, we'll dox some people. Okay, that's
we're doxing people now, hey.
I mean, you
don't tempt me with a good time.
I was gonna say you already did it to yourself. You're like, screw Corn Pop. I'm now Jesse Chick.
Okay.
So we can't do that to you. All right.
All right.
Doesn't work the same. Not a law. It doesn't equal the law of the equivalent exchange there, my friend. So Secret now probably a little scared of this scoreline. Honestly, I think not only what Secret, but the audience at home and a little bit of us all thought SSG was already in their grave and like kind of getting buried a little bit. Yeah. So we'll see, man. We'll see. I'm open to anything. I'm an open-minded guy. I'm ready for a map 3 if we get there. Clubhouse would be a heck of a lot of fun. But either way, I mean, even the fact that SSG's working their way back into the series right now is making things a lot more fun in general, because there for a minute, I mean, it was just the Secret show. That's all it was.
Yeah, no, we got life behind the eyes of SSG for the first time in a long time, so this is what we've been hoping for. This is what we get to see now. A couple of shields coming in, but they won't protect Newers.
This blitz, you cannot let Joom escape. Anything around here, they have to get some value out of this. Some firefights back and forth, but nobody can kill Noah. He hits a beautiful shot, almost takes another one. It's Joom instead. SSG are getting ran through the meat grinder. It's down to Benjamaster to try and assist, but the strategy is just so lost. Spacestation not able to get a single thing going for themselves as they attempt to fly in through Teller's office. And it all lands on deaf ears. The Secret do not want to hear their tune. They will steal away the round in a pretty convincing way.
Dude, I'm convinced Joom is like an AI built as a Siege player, as he's just managing to hit some ridiculous shots after ridiculous shots, plays a ridiculously good round down inside of Archives with his teammates too, had some really good support. The way that they were able to counter that double rush in from SSG, as there were bodies coming in through lobby, bodies coming in through square. Spacestation had a lot of dimensions to that push, but in the end, it was just really good gunfights coming out from Team Secret. Mostly Joom and Noah working as that duo to make sure those players in the bottom floor couldn't hold anything down. Really good stuff coming out from those couple of players, and that's just the difference maker, Sam. That's just what makes Team Secret such a deadly team. You can run at them with shields, but they don't shake, they don't run away, they don't get scared. They stand up, they fight them toe-to-toe, and they walk away, hitting the really tiny angles they need to just to find the heads.
Hey, I can just say that I'm a Mark Steinman and Noah Rodriguez Irwitz stan. Okay.
Oh my God.
Yes, I should have said Rodriguez better. I'm literally from Texas, but
fair.
We'll take it as it goes, right? Team Secret will run downstairs now after that very successful defense on the mid floor and see if they can hit penultimate point. Huge deal here. If they're able to get this round, that's going to be a lot of pressure put on Spacestation Gaming.
Yeah, and you get the best bomb side on the map to try to do it for. Maybe not with this current statistics, Sam, but certainly throughout history, this basement bomb site has been really, really tough for attacking teams to crack. You get a bit of an opportunity if you can find some roamers, and Savage will give you that chance. He's going to play top floor on the Solus in 2025. It'll be fun to see what he can get done with it. You see immediately the shots come his way, but actually answers back really nicely, gets some damage on defaults, and doesn't take any of his own.
It's really incredible stuff. Not exactly something you see happen all that often from that positioning. Usually the 417 is the victor in that scenario. Newers starts to work his way in. Savage quite a few rounds. What a find from Newers, though. He knows that there's still another player around this space. A lot of assistance coming in here from Team Secret. Lots of angles and maybe another find. Mowgli's going to seal the door up as Team Secret choose to try and vacate the premises.
Yeah, awkward still though, right? I mean, Team Secret, can you get out from this position if you want to? It seems like they can. Mowgli backs over towards square. Savage is with him, but the hatch is reinforced. They'll need to make their way down through the staircase instead. No real way for Savage to break these hatches either, so he needs a teammate to break it from down below, or he's got to go back down one of the staircases. Has no intention of doing any of that though, Sam. He's rotated back to the top floor. At the same time, Space Station say, we don't care. We're going to rush in through garage.
I don't think anybody was close enough to be in earshot to hear that.
Well, they've got on the bulletproof.
Yeah, and thank God Noah is alive too, so he'll get that little sensory thing as well. So they'll know there's some players inside of Garage. Secret will be able to more than likely deal with this just a little bit. SSG gets some nice frags, but now it's down to Mowgli. SSG, they found all the value that they've necessarily needed, but Ashen will get the big kill as finally Space Station Gaming have something to say on a map.
Yeah, and a lot of that kind of came from Benja. He got 2 kills up on the top floor. His entire team left him. They all went over to Garage. They were like, we're not going to fight these roamers. It's a heavy extension from Secret. Let's just all go hit site. And Benja was like, okay, guys, you do that. I'm Benja. I'm gonna lock things down up above, just in case. And Benja was the guy who found the majority of those kills, a couple of really important ones. At the same time, right, Newers was going there, hitting the back, dropping in through gold, having an impact of his own. So it was a real team effort from SSG, but you got to give it to those individuals who were able to step up in the big time. Benja in particular having that impact up above when the rest of the team was really focused on the site. He made sure that they couldn't get flanked, they couldn't get stabbed in the back, and that really did make the push all the more easier.
All right, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Sure.
What are we getting?
Bomb sites?
Not only bomb site, who's taking this map?
Oh my god, it's 5-5 after a secret attack timeout, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Bomb site, I'm going to say CEO top floor, which I definitely didn't just read off the clean feed.
I want you guys to know I had the biggest smile on my face as I was trying not to laugh to expose him to broadcast.
As for the winner, Sam, I mean, I have to believe in SSG. I have to believe we'll get the third map. I mean, there's no team that is better in high-stress situations. That is what has been set up with this squad for years at this point, particularly since the start of the stage, though. And they had the ridiculous lower bracket run through the North American League, the ridiculous lower bracket run through the EWC group stage, and then in quarterfinals, beating Shopify Rebellion. It just feels like every time this team gets tested, they have the answers. So I've got to imagine Spacestation can force us to a third map. I've got to imagine Clubhouse is on the docket, but Team Secret, they do look like a scary foe. And even if we get to Clubhouse, there's no telling how that one's going to end.
I'm going to lie down.
Well, my friend, it's down to this. Whoever wins this is going to be the only team that has an opportunity to shut things out in regulation. Otherwise, obviously, it'll be OT from there on out, which would be quite an interesting prospect between these two, especially given the circumstances of how this series has went so far. An extremely dominant Secret on SSG's map pick, but now equal footing here on Bank, the pick of Team Secret. Obviously, Jesse did talk about earlier how SSG aren't exactly slouches on Bank. So, obviously, those statistics showing here. SSG, though, still have to play the game in the lobby. It's not done on paper. Gonna have those angles building up here for this top floor. Won't have any ranged hard breach, though, to try and deal with that Kanto wall.
One of the big problems that does come for a push like this means that SSG might be a little bit more focused over towards Square and Stalk. There was a really aggressive Yokai cam inside of Stalk that was able to see out onto the balcony. Yeah, great third-person perspective. Thank you, observers. It's a really sneaky one from Adrian that could prompt an aggressive swing. I'm not sure who would go for it. Maybe Mowgli, who is the guy playing the Stalk position, but maybe June goes up Square stairs and goes for a swing. Regardless of who makes a move, if it secures an early kill for Team Secret on the SSG, I mean, that would be a difference maker here in round 11.
June does have impact, so if he wants to get a little weird with it, he can always go for that soft destruction play, but it's going to be Savage instead that steps up, and he'll be able to steal Ashen away from the round. Adrian in a gunfight with J9O, but now it's Fultz to try and open up the door. 3 versus 3, pistol in hand, down to the 3 versus 2, but Benja, he's worked his way into the site. Constantly and consistently, these teams are able to find each other time and time again, as these fates simply cannot separate themselves from each other. They know one's outside, Neuros will go down. It's up to Benja Master up against Savage, who's currently on a triple, and Joom knows one's over inside of Stock, tries to take the fight. No Candalas to this man's name, and no case. It's going to be down to just trying to find these gunfights. The only thing that's beneficial to Benja is that there's a lot of time on the clock. He doesn't necessarily have to force this, but he continues to flirt with the same door over and over again. Finally, it will punish him, and Secret are 1 round away from securing the grand finals of the Esports World Cup 2025.
Sam, when you're in this situation where you have SSG on the brink, but they start to make the comeback and they start to push it to a 5-5, you need somebody to have no fear, to step up and to save the game. Who better than the captain? Savage made ridiculous plays in that round. First, stepping up into Ashen's smoke grenade to 1v1 the Glass close range and get the opening pick. Then steps up again to shut down False down through the main skylight stairs, who managed to get 2 kills and equalize, trades out on False, and then outside the building on the balcony. Just ridiculous stuff coming out from Savage, the young captain from Team Secret. Again, this guy really doing all the work from Team Secret at just 21 years old.
And honestly, what a storyline for them. You know, you said it when we first got into this series, a dark horse from Europe, but you know, you really just have to give them their flowers. They've been playing so incredibly well, let alone that fact, but you can just see the passion for Siege on these guys' faces. Every single one of these rounds, Jesse, means the world to these guys, as a lot of them have not had the opportunity to let alone make it to a semifinal, make it to a grand final on this roster. And what a better place to do it than in the desert. SSG, this is what they've been built for. Pressure makes diamonds. They're looking to shine here in what could be our last round.
Just a few minutes away from potentially an all EML final in the grand finals of EWC. It's the basement, Sam. It's not a heavy roam, it's a light roam coming up from Savage and Mowgli. We saw this before with an elevator player and an open area player. Savage has actually joined Mowgli inside of open area this time, so it's a bit of a different look, but as we hit the 2-minute, 10-second mark, both of them do drop down the hatch. We're going to end up getting a 5v5 late round execute. So SSG will have time to sit and think. I say this, Savage. SSG will have time to sit and think before they go for this push. Maybe wait in the pressure a little bit. Make sure that they don't get anything wrong when they go for this execute, because they've got good tools, right? Lots of flashes coming out from Faults. The Bs from Newers will provide a lot of opportunity to make things work. It's all going to be about how they prepare themselves for this execute. And a bit of a blunder from Joom as he destroys a Goyo canister with that Kiba.
Man, it doesn't even pop it either. It actually just straight up eliminates it. It's like it's been sucked into a black hole.
That's tough.
Yeah, very unfortunate. Hopefully it's not something that comes back to bite them, because sometimes it really can be the little things. Speaking of which, look at that angle from Mowgli. He'll slip away. He's been the most aggressive player on Secret by far for them on this map. 7 and 10. He's only not died in one round we've completed so far, so...
Which is the Mowgli way, I should say. I don't expect him to play any other style.
I mean, you just need one sicko on your team. You know, you need one person that does not care about their life in the slightest. And that happens to be Mowgli for this squad. 45 seconds remain, and, well, Jesse, this is the time to sit forward and lock in. It's a 5v5 execute. Ashen gets the first kill. Mowgli will make it even. Joom with one as well. Where is the case? It's on Fultz, but does it really matter? Secret! They've practically done it. It's only Fultz from Elevator, and they know exactly where he is. The secret weapon strikes the space station to the ground, and Secret will make the grand final.